All right, guys. It's been a while. Hopefully, we'll get some debates in. But I've been busy. Hey, Box. No transgender today. Yeah. I haven't streamed in a while. I didn't want to do the transgender thing because I get mass reported, and I just wanted to have one stream where I wasn't. I'm not getting mass reporting getting banned. What are peaches? Yeah, it's been a while, guys. I've just been working so much. I have two jobs, so it's been very busy. What's up, Fresco? Oh no, Pasco's asking me if I know Jock Fresco. I don't. My sister found out that she's pregnant. Oh wow, that's interesting. Is that bad? Oh, I can't believe that. All right, now I just got trolled. You, I don't recognize. You don't recognize my. Yes, I do. I'm sorry, Diana. I see you now. Am I in school? In a sense, I teach. Haven't seen me before the new year. Yeah, I guess has it really been that long? God is good and real. I don't think so, sir. You should request and debate me, brah. I like the new backdrop, much simpler. Isn't? Oh yeah. Well, it doesn't attract as many people. What's up, Rev? How are you? Guys, request if you disagree. I was scared you were banned. No, I would post something if I was banned. I'll do that always. But no, I've just been so busy. I'm gonna have to do this more often though. Good to see that I'm having these important convos, huh? I'd like to think I'm as important. I don't know, maybe. Oh, okay, you being an atheist watching Fresco's lectures. Interesting. I have to look into that. Guys, if you believe in God, if you're a Christian, Muslim, you should request. We're just waiting on people to come in and fight. Let's be honest here. The only thing that we know that's correct is Wendy's chicken nuggets. Okay. Do I deny creator? Yeah, I do. I was talking to my friend yesterday about your Jesus trans argument. Yeah, they don't like that one. How do you request? You have to have 1,000 followers to be over the age of 18, and you look in the bottom left, and you see guest, and you request. What's my religion? I'm an atheist. Oh no, why are people not requesting? This is exactly what all these guys look like. I don't get it. There we go. We got a request. What's up, Minna? What do we disagree about?
You should kill yourself now!
Yeah, it's always the first one. We always have to jump the hoop. TikTok, that wasn't me. That was a troll. Parker's still live. Ah, okay. I didn't even see. But whatever. We'll be live for some bit. You're in a good mood, Danny? Am I usually not? The fact that you have to point that out, it means that things have gone wrong in the past. All right, here's the second troll. Are you a troll, sir? Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's up? What do we disagree about?
So, I don't necessarily disagree, but like, how can you make a claim that Christianity is false or Islam is false?
Yeah, I
Like,
think that
indefinitely.
indefinitely. Well, I think that problem of evil is a pretty good argument against the existence of God. I think things like certain doctrines, like the Trinitarian doctrine, the doctrine of the Trinity, and the Incarnation, are pure nonsense. So those are good reasons to think that Christianity is false. If there are good arguments against theism, then both of them are false.
So, you like make the conclusion that a religion is like baseless if it has like a certain concept in its like belief system that can be proved false.
I think what you're asking is if I think that there's a contradiction or if it doesn't make sense, does it make it false? For me, yes. All right.
Okay. All right, yeah. I guess I mean I don't agree with that, but
You think that there are true contradictions or things that don't make sense can be true?
no, but I think that there's a lot of misconceptions that can be made uh, like through a lot of belief systems, and like I feel like you can't like kind of take the whole religion and just say like, oh yeah, this one point can definitely be proved. Cause it could be like any, you can have any
Well, here, look. The point is this: on Christianity, on Islam, God loves you. God cares about His creation. He doesn't just love you, right? He loves everyone. He's very powerful and very knowledgeable. Is this the best that He can do? Right? This is just not what I would expect. The kind of world that we live in, I wouldn't expect this from a perfect being, and so I think it's very unlikely that a perfect being, exists, and that cuts against all these monotheistic traditions in the West. So I think that's a good reason to believe that these things are false. There's people. It's actually more likely that people made stuff up.
right, but like how do you define perfect being? Because like
Mm-hmm.
in like a Christian's eyes or like a Muslim's eyes, they tend to like, I'm not even Christian, but
Mm-hmm.
or Muslim, but like in there they tend to believe that God, it's like a divine plan that like we're not meant to understand.
The
So
point
like
is
how do you
that
define perfect?
we can perfect is harder to define than loving, right? Let's just stick with loving because I'm understanding perfect in terms of love, knowledge, and power. Okay. So the idea is that if someone is loving, does that generate a certain set of expectations? Like if you had a loving boyfriend, that generates expectations about how he treats you, right? If he treats you like crap and he mentally, physically abuses you, then it's just not a loving boyfriend or just a pure failure, right? And I'm just saying that if you're ascribing loving to God, he doesn't get a pass, right? Those generate certain expectations about how the world should look like, right? And I just given this world, you have everything from child cancer to genocide. I mean, you have natural disasters. You have all the. It's just not the world I would expect from a loving, powerful, knowledgeable God. Just wouldn't expect it. And in the same way that if you told me your boyfriend was loving and then I found out he was mentally and physically abusing you, I just wouldn't believe that your boyfriend is loving. I wouldn't believe in such a thing.
Right, but how can you disprove like the point? Like I don't even, I'm not even saying like I completely agree with the way that Christians or
Right.
Muslims,
I understand that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but how can you um I completely forgot what I was gonna say actually.
All right. Well, I mean, look, I think what you're trying to say is like, we live in a world of uncertainty. Especially you look at things like science. We constantly revise our views. No sign. I mean, responsible intellectual people are, their positions are tentative. They're slow to come to definite conclusions. And then I'm sitting here definitively saying these things are false, and that sits uncomfortably with you, and I get that. But and I respect people that withhold judgment. There's a lot to weigh in here. There's a lot to think about. But I just think that I've thought about it enough to where I can make a conclusion that these things are very likely made up.
Yeah, I respect that belief. I was just like looking for if you had like a different way of going about proving or like just making that claim. But I get it.
It depends on what you mean by prove too. I mean, there are logical arguments like deductive arguments, almost near mathematical, and then there's the kind of argument I was giving you is a more probabilistic claim. It's just like probably perfect being doesn't exist, or that's to say, probably loving, all powerful, all knowing God doesn't exist. It's just not the world. This is not the world I would expect, and I think it's enough for me to reject these religions. And I think it's enough for anyone to reject these religions. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I get that. I'll
I
let
appreciate your
you.
question. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
appreciate your question. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Feel free to request if you had any
But
more questions. All right.
all right, how do I get
All
out of
right.
here?
I got you. Don't worry. Okay. What's up, Is it Jesiah or Jesse?
Yeah, Josiah.
Hey, Jesiah. What do we disagree about?
I just joined on. I thought this topic is something that's really interesting to me. So, Can you state really quick your personal belief?
Oh, I'm an atheist, and so I reject
Why, why,
the.
why are you an atheist?
Well, I think things like the problem of evil, the unlikelihood of disembodied minds without bodies existing, and the fact that God is never going to be a good explanation for anything. These are all reasons for me to reject his existence or her existence, depending on your perspective.
So, how do you provide an explanation for things such as existence itself and the intentionality intelligence that goes to create something as magical and mystical as the human experience on planet Earth?
Well, I wouldn't describe, unless I was speaking metaphorically, I wouldn't describe anything magical. I mean, I don't believe in anything magical. I mean, this
The
is
fact that you started off as a single cell and developed one on top of the other into the being that you are today and have five senses and senses in your brain that can operate on a level that is far greater than any computer, your own mind is something that is limitlessly powerful to control the reality and your perception of it
what?
to the point to where
What's limitlessly powerful? What?
your mind is limitlessly powerful.
I'm omnipotent.
The human body is incredibly intelligent enough that it has to point to an intelligent source that created it.
I don't see why that would be true.
So there's something called the second law of thermodynamics that proves that order does not come out of disorder, it takes intention. If something left alone
You talking about
for
entropy?
thousands of years, it's called the second law of thermodynamics that anything left alone will decay or turn to disarray.
Do you know
Order does not
physicists don't
come.
think that, number one, physicists don't think that applies universally. That only happens in certain localities or contexts. At least that law applies only in certain contexts.
So
That's the first thing.
I believe that science proves the existence of God. I think they
Okay, we're like
coexist
jumping. First, you
together.
said you were jumping across all of these. First, you were talking about my mind being like all powerful, which was bizarre. And now you're talking. Then you were talking about entropy, and now you're
It's
talking about something
bizarre. It's
different.
bizarre that your mind is powerful.
It's bizarre that you're jumping from topic to topic. Stick to a topic, okay? And then let's talk about it. What topic do you want to stick on?
So the fact that you said the human experience is not mystical. If you look
Well,
into
it just depends on what you mean by mystical. I mean, like I might use that term
something
metaphorically.
that is a mystery, that's the meaning of the word mystical.
Okay,
Something that
fine.
is
Yeah. Okay.
beyond
There are a lot of things
your
I don't know
understanding.
about. There are a lot of things that are mysterious to me. Maybe other things that are mysterious to me that are mysterious to other people. Like I bet physics is less mysterious to physicists. So what? How does that
So
show? What does that have to do with God?
the thing about God is it's something that has to be outside of this experience in order to create this experience.
I mean,
So
the
you
rocks
guys,
outside my window are outside of my experience. I mean, like, I don't understand where you're going with that.
the thing that created this experience has to
Why
be
would I
outside
believe in
of it
why would I accept that there's a thing that created everything
because there
or
is
the
a
experiences?
creation. Because there is a creation. You are a living being.
Why should I accept that this is creation rather than just the natural world?
Because there's intelligence behind who you
Why
are as a
should I
person.
accept that? You're just repeating yourself.
You actually do not have to accept that. It's just a fact whether you accept it or
Why
not.
is it just a fact? Or you just believe it with no reason?
If you've ever studied the human body, you will understand that it comes from an intelligent designer.
There are a lot of people that know about the human body way more than you and I, and they don't come to this conclusion. So that you're just talking. I don't know why you're saying that. You know, there are tons of scientists that study the human body
Do
and
you
don't
know that
believe.
it actually takes more faith to believe that everything comes from random chance than it does to actually credit to
I
an
don't think
intelligent
even if
source?
God existed, there would be random chance because he just
If you're
randomly.
saying,
Excuse me, one second. There's random chance no matter what model of reality you have. Because if you think that God created everything, there's not going to be a good reason ultimately for why he chose to create, given that he's a perfect being and doesn't need to create. So randomness doesn't go away on your model.
it takes more faith to believe that everything that exists, that is life,
Oh
that is on
my
this
God,
planet,
you're like a brick wall. What's up, Paley? What do we disagree about?
Okay, so I was just wondering. So you said you were an atheist, right?
Correct.
All right. So then, where did everything come from? So you think just not like it just came to be?
Where do you think God came from?
I believe that the human mind isn't powerful enough to comprehend what God is.
So you don't know where God came from? So let's say I don't know.
No.
That's not a problem because you don't know where God came from. I don't know where the whole natural world came from. So who cares? How does that help
All right.
the
Okay.
theistic
So
count?
at the end of the like the day, like, is it worth like so let's say Islam is right,
Let's say Islam is
and
right. Okay.
I die and I was Muslim and I was good or whatever, and I go to heaven, right?
Okay.
But let's say I was an atheist and Islam was right, I will go to hell, right?
Right. Okay. And
But if let's just say religion was made up and I'm an atheist and I die and there's nothing there, and then nothing will be there. I won't go to hell. I won't go to heaven,
okay.
right? So
And
is it worth being an atheist at the end?
what about if there's a God that punishes anybody that believes in him and sends them to hell? Looks like I'm covered for that God.
Is there a book that covers that? Is there
It
a
doesn't have to be.
divine?
Look, the point is that as long as it's you're saying Islam is possible. Okay, I'm granting it. But we could possibly live in a world where there's a God and he only punishes people that believe in him. He throws them into the lake of fire forever. All right. So I'm covered on that God. Why don't you become an atheist? Just so you're covered, you got your fire insurance just like me with respect to that God.
Because everything has to come from something. And did it just
Does God come from
occur?
something?
I like I said, the human mind is incapable of
So yeah,
comprehending
either
what God
you don't
is.
know, or it's a yes or no.
Like I said, I can't comprehend what God is.
So you don't know. So tell me, you don't know where God came from, is what you're telling me.
Yeah,
Okay, so then is that a problem for you?
not knowing where God came from.
Yeah, is that a problem for you?
No,
Okay,
not a
so
problem
then
for me.
if an atheist says, I don't know where everything came from, is that a problem for them?
No,
Okay, so then why are you asking the question?
I'm not. I was.
You're not asking the question. Didn't you ask me okay, if you're an atheist, Danny, where did everything come from in the context of a debate?
Okay, but like at the end of the day, is it really worth not believing in anything? Like,
Sure. Yeah. I think I'm a lot happier as an atheist than a theist. I think a lot of people that believe in God are stressed out about things like hell, whether they're, sucking God's cock in the right way. That's stressful. I bet I'm happier right now than the average Christian.
you don't seem happy.
All right. Anything else?
No.
All right. Have a good one. What's up, John? What do we disagree about?
Well, why do you want to even hear from people to disagree with you about Christianity and Islam, which is,
Are you asking me why I do this?
yeah,
Money,
I'm a
power,
believer.
money, power, and fame. All right.
Okay,
All
okay,
right.
good. I hope you get it.
Thank you. Me too. I appreciate you. I'm gonna go to the next person. I mean, what do they want to hear? This is fun to me. I'm gonna let the next person in, but they didn't reconnect. Guys, it's up to y'all whether I accomplish the dream. But I invited 2 people on accident. I'm gonna have to kick one out. Sorry, Sweet Life. I'll look for you next time. Okay. I remember Sweet Life. Okay. What's up? Skeptic. It looks like we agree, but because your name is Skeptic.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hey, what's up? What do we disagree about?
You're making a claim that Islam is false, right?
Yes, I am making the claim that Islam is false.
So let's start from the big God. Can you disprove existence of Islam's God?
Sure, God is a perfect being. Perfect beings don't bring about imperfect things. Creation is imperfect, therefore no perfect beings exist. Something like that. So Islam is false.
That's
Because
how false.
Hmm?
Where do you get that claim from?
What claim? You don't think God is perfect?
What does so if God is perfect, so the creation has to be perfect as well?
Yeah, perfect beings don't bring about imperfect things. Like perfect car makers don't make imperfect cars. Otherwise, it just wouldn't be a perfect car maker.
No, that's not true.
Okay, so perfect car makers can bring about imperfect cars,
Yeah,
on your view?
still that doesn't disprove existence of God.
I'm sorry, let's just use the analogy. Can a perfect car maker, that's just what that means is that a person that makes cars who only makes them perfect, right? Can that being create an imperfect car?
If a perfect car maker makes a unperfect car, that doesn't mean that car maker doesn't exist.
Well, did you hear the argument?
No, you can't you need to disprove existence of God.
Did you hear the argument, the perfect car maker? It seems like you just said, nah.
You are making the problem of evil. So you do you know the response to the
What premise of my perfect car maker example did you disagree about?
no you your problem is you're saying there is evil in the world, that's why. So
Look, we're taking one step at a time, right? Because the notion of perfection is that if someone is perfect, I take them that to whatever they do is also going to be perfect. They don't do anything they should not do, right?
why?
Because that's what it means. Like if you take a perfection means can't be improved upon, right? It ought not to be any different, right?
No, look, if a perfect God creates perfect, then it will God creates God. That's what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What? No, look, I'm just saying this.
No, you're saying
A perfect being only does perfect things, right?
no, wrong.
Okay,
You're
so a perfect being can do imperfect things, then in virtue of what are they perfect?
what you are saying is God should create gods. That's what you are saying.
No, where are you getting that, sir?
No,
What
you say perfect. He should create perfect things. That's what it. What that's what
Maybe
it.
I'm misunderstanding you. Are you saying that God can only create God?
Hmm.
No, look, God can create something perfect.
Think what you're saying. If you're saying God is perfect, He should create perfect things. So therefore,
Yeah.
God create God.
No, look, if God wanted to create a mountain, it would be without imperfections. In other words, the mountain wouldn't be, it couldn't be improved upon, doesn't need to be changed, right? That's what I mean by perfect.
No, wrong. That's
Oh, wait,
so.
so look, does this make sense to you, right? Let's say I make you a pizza. You come over, I give you pizza, American pizza, okay? And I tell you, this is the perfect pizza for you, okay? And then as soon as I what do you call it? Present it to you, I start adding pepperonis and peppers and adding a bunch of stuff to it. That would be weird, right? Because it's if I said it was perfect, but then I'm adding things to it, there's no reason to add anything to it. That's what perfect means. It means it's got no defect. There's nothing that ought to change about it. That's what perfect means.
No, the perfect means that there is no problem with it at all.
Which means that it ought not to change. If there's no problem with it at all, it ought not to change. If there's any change, it's either random or you're dealing with a mistake.
No, the creation is the exact plan. So what you're saying is, if God is perfect, He should create perfect things. Okay, therefore God should create other gods.
No, where are you getting that last conclusion from? I don't get it.
You are saying God is perfect, right?
Yes.
So therefore God should create perfect things.
We're banned, boys. I'm gonna end the stream here. Okay. That fast. Okay. Sorry. I should be unbanned soon, though. I'm gonna appeal.